So this is the question you didn't know you needed to ask, or the 10 questions you didn't even know existed. I get questions all the time about Boulder. Should I move here? What do you like about it? What's the best? All those questions that come to me as a realtor, you would think are about a house, the cost of the house, how to buy a house, but it's not usually that. The most common questions I get are about the Boulder lifestyle. We're gonna go into a few of those today. I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and let's get started on answering some of those great questions. So a lot of times we jump into a conversation and the person on the other end is thinking they're gonna ask me about the house itself. What can I afford? What size do I want? Where should I be? But really they go into questions like, will I fit into Boulder? Will I really feel at home in Boulder? How long will it take me to get used to Boulder? Is Boulder welcoming or is it kind of exclusionary? How will Boulder embrace my family? These are the types of questions. So with that in mind, let's get into some exact questions that have come my way. I'm on one side answering the question as though you and I are just having a cup of coffee, not as though we're sitting at the table really filling out the forms and getting specific on should I move here. This is just getting familiar with the town. I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and I've lived here in Boulder for 25 years. Over the course of this time, I've gotten to know ins and outs, and the question that I often get is, can I afford to live in Boulder? Okay, very generic, but I can say this. When I moved here in 2001, the first question I asked myself, can I afford to live here? And the answer was, just barely. I could barely pay the rental cost to stay in a house. And then I kept looking at homes. Can we buy? Can we buy? Can we buy? The answer was no repeatedly. Year after year after year, I kept thinking, this place is so expensive. And so why do I bring this up? Because that question has been at the front of my mind for a quarter century. So the answer to that now, what I really give as a practical form of advice is, what do you want when you move to Boulder? So can you afford to live here? Shoot, there's a way if there's a will behind it. And so if you're just saying, I don't care what my house looks like, I just want to be in Boulder. If that's your answer, then yes, you can afford to live here. We can find a way to get you in a condo or a house somewhere that gives you that access to Boulder if that is your why. If, of course, your why is to have a giant house, then we've got to go into some serious spreadsheets. But question number one, can I afford it? The answer is, depending on your answer, depending on your why rather, yes. The answer is yes. Another question I get is, if I can afford it, do I choose Boulder or outside Boulder? Great question. And the answer is, what lifestyle do you want? You can get a lot, Louisville, Lafayette, Longmont. You just have to make sure you have that lifestyle question answered. This is a question I get pretty much every day. What's the best neighborhood in Boulder? Well, this is controversial and impossible to answer. Everyone you ask will have a different answer. But if you go with the generic, what's the best sort of all-around Boulder neighborhood, folks are gonna say Mapleton Hill has the prettiest houses, the most historic, and the easiest access. That one, tied with Chautauqua, also historic and great access. Controversial, hey, do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments. Where do locals live? Well, this one's kind of a trick question because Boulder's not big enough to really have a touristy zone that it precludes the locals from being there. But I will say this, it's pretty uncommon to find folks say that they really have to live along Pearl Street. Most folks are a little bit further out. This question is, are there specific neighborhoods that people move to and regret being in? Well, this is a tough one because the answer is yes if you don't do your due diligence. If you know what you want out of a neighborhood before you purchase, then no, you've got a high success rate. And if you want more detailed information about neighborhoods, just look on this channel for some seriously in-depth and a lot of videos that go into what each neighborhood has to offer, the pros and cons. This is a question that people are sometimes embarrassed to ask. Do I need to be outdoorsy to live in Boulder? The answer is, well, a lot of folks are outdoorsy. So the outdoorsy folks might make you feel a little guilty for not liking to hike. I have had people tell me that before, that they find folks shocked when they say they don't like to go outside, they just prefer to be indoors. So the answer there is, you might want to consider pretending to be outdoorsy if you're not. This question is great. Does the altitude affect me or will it affect me? The answer is yes for most people. There are very few people that come here and don't experience a little bit of difficulty acclimating to the altitude. So there are ways to get around that, but certainly so, you do want to factor it in. You do want to do your research. What about this? Do I need all-wheel drive? I would say yes. It's good to have all-wheel drive. It's helpful even more so to have snow tires that you maybe rotate between October and May. This is the reason. You do have a lot of days where you want it. There's plenty where you don't, but all-wheel drive, super useful, helps you with the traction. Snow tires, a great buy. Does Boulder feel political? I would say yes. It feels like people are very active. You have a lot of protests. National events do not go unnoticed. So if you go down to Broadway and Canyon after any big event, election, war, you name it, you're going to see a lot of people voicing their opinions. It's a great thing. You can stay away from it, but Boulder does have a strong political vibe. People are active here. Does Boulder feel snobby? Well, the truth of the matter is, Boulder can feel a little bit pretentious. People love it here. They say it's 25 square miles surrounded by reality. We feel pretty proud of Boulder. So it does feel a little bit different. Snobby may not be the exact word I would use, but it does feel a little bit proud of itself. So here's a question for you. What is the biggest question you have about Boulder? Drop that answer, or rather that question, in the comments so we can address it and see what people are thinking outside of Boulder. Okay, here's a question that I got from buyers recently, and it was a very controversial question. Should I be South Boulder or North Boulder? And you know what my answer was? If you have to ask, you'll never know. Not really. The question is very specific. We have South Boulder people, we have North Boulder people. And what I tell folks is, if you're having to ask that, do I belong in South Boulder? Quite honestly, you probably could be happy anywhere. The folks that are happy in South Boulder are not happy anywhere else. So realistically, the controversy is, if you're a South Boulder person, you won't be happy if you go north. But if you're I don't care, there's just so much good stuff in Boulder, you'll probably end up happy anywhere. Hope that helps. Now, when folks get a little bit closer to getting ready to buy, these are some of the questions that come my way. Should I wait to buy? Well, obviously that depends on the specific market conditions, but generally speaking, my answer is, if you're qualified to buy and you like Boulder, you should do it now. If you're renting, here's the reason. Because prices may dip or flatline, but generally speaking, get in now because the long-term investment is going to pay off. So should I wait to buy? No. Will Boulder prices go down? This is a question that for 20 years I answered it very firmly. No, they're always going up. And then over the last 3 to 4 years, we've actually seen that answer be yes, they can go down. And the reason is because we had such a spike in 2020, 21, and 22 that prices inflated very, very rapidly. And then if you had to sell 3-4 years later, right now in 2026, you may see a loss. You may see those values come down. So the answer is yes, they tend to go down, but our general trend across the last 50 years is that prices have climbed, and you should trust that they will continue to climb. What about this? Can I buy remotely? The answer is absolutely yes. I have helped people buy a home only having seen it on FaceTime and videos, the walkthrough that I provide and also that the listing agent has provided. So can it happen and does it happen? Absolutely yes, but you want to make sure you have a trusted person in the house showing you that video. What catches buyers off guard? Well, this is sometimes the speed can beat you out. You may be in a market that's very balanced, like we currently are in the summer of 2026. If that's the case, a balanced market gives you that false confidence you can wait. But guess what? We still have a relatively tight supply and demand equation. So buyers are caught off guard when they see a home, they're out of town, and they expect to see it when they come back and it's already under contract. Here's the spoiler. Well-priced homes are going quickly. Don't let that catch you off guard. If you see a home you like, try and make a move quickly, but diligently. So this is fun. How about some rapid fire questions I get all the time? First one, what is the best easy trail? Well, the best easy trail is Wonderland Lake. Super flat, super accessible, super beautiful. Okay, what about this? What's the most challenging trail that I would recommend? Okay, that one is going to be Mesa Trail. It's challenging because it's long, 7.5 miles one way, but it's up and down. Beautiful, well worth it, not an easy hike, but not going to kill you. What's the best coffee shop? Ooh, controversial. I think the best quality coffee that you're gonna get is gonna probably come from Boxcar, with a tie being Ozo. But Boxcar, right on Pearl Street or in South Boulder, they're gonna serve up some of the best and most unique coffees that you can get anywhere I've been. Favorite restaurant I would send people to in Boulder? Well, gosh, I always ask first, what kind of food do you like? And if they don't have a good answer, I'll say, you know what? You've got to probably go down to Pearl Street and go to Pizzeria Alberico, because who doesn't love pizza? And it's high-end pizza, so it's not budget, but it's still very affordable, very nice. You can sit out on Pearl Street and enjoy. So if you're coming to town for one meal, try that one. What's my favorite season in Boulder? Well, gosh, I always say it's pretty hard to beat summer in Boulder. So if you're talking June, July, and August, or even May through October, that's the best time. Great weather, people are out doing stuff, tons of sunshine, and you can really enjoy everything that we have to offer here. What's the most underrated neighborhood in Boulder? Well, it's almost one that doesn't have a name. I'd say rural North Boulder. So if you go just north of Norwood, the homes up there, pretty underrated, a great spot, bigger lots, no sidewalks, no streetlights, and a vibe that still kind of harkens back to the old day in Boulder, but also still has great modern finishes. So that's the one that's most underrated. What is something that people don't expect about Boulder? Well, this is kind of funny. You're never going to go too far without running into someone that's world class at what they do. If you stop and talk to someone at the supermarket, I guarantee you're going to find an Olympian, a world champion, or a world-class physicist, or the best massage therapist in town, or basically just someone that is the best. Master sommelier, what else is there? Michelin star chef. It's everywhere. So I think that the surprise that people find is that if you're good at something, there's always someone that's better than you just next door. So kind of cool, kind of humbling, all mixed up in one. Okay, this is a question. If I had one weekend to show a friend Boulder, what would I do? This question is something I actually ask every person that comes on my podcast, Love Where You Live. If you want to see some of those great answers from all these amazing people, you should check out the podcast. Because I ask this, give us a perfect day in Boulder. Well, if I had my perfect day, or more appropriately, if I brought someone from out of town and wanted to give them a great taste of everything in Boulder, being very specific, I would say first things first. I would wake up and take that individual, because this individual is going to exercise while they're visiting me. We're gonna go for a nice bit of exercise first thing in the morning. So how I would do that is say, we're gonna go for a gravel bike ride. We're gonna roll out the door onto these beautiful roads just north of town and ride around in quiet, beautiful countryside. So getting out there, seeing the horse country out north, it's just beautiful. Go up to Longmont, maybe go around Open Sky Loop out there by Lagerman Reservoir towards Longmont, but just enjoy beautiful, beautiful scenery while all the mountains are in the backdrop. It's a great way to introduce someone to Boulder and the area, just seeing it on two wheels, all the nature, all that beautiful scenery. Once you're done with that, come back here. We're gonna actually go straight to Boxcar. We're gonna pop in, sit out front, and have a nice coffee. So we haven't really done much of that yet, but we're getting a little appetite built up. After you've gone to Boxcar, you're gonna pop over and we're gonna hit a big breakfast. That will be at Walnut Cafe, because why not? Nothing says Boulder like Walnut Cafe. You can have lunch, you can have brunch, or you can have breakfast, whatever you want, all the way to about 2 or 3 p.m. So we'll do that. Now it's only probably 10 in the morning and we've had a nice exercise, nice meal. And then because it's summertime, we're going to get to really experience a little bit more of what Boulder has to offer, and we're going to go to Scott Carpenter Pool. Because you know what? I'm bringing my kids, and if you don't have kids, you're bringing my kids. We go together with the kids to Scott Carpenter. It's a great park outside. Maybe we play in the playground and then dive into the pool to cool off. I love Scott Carpenter. It's got so much history. It's right there in central Boulder off 30th Street. So then we've done that. Now we're kind of midday. We're starting to get a little bit hungry, but there's still some energy to burn off because probably my son's with us and he's got about a mile wide. Is that even a thing? He's got so much energy he could probably power a small city. So Zane is ready to go. He comes with us and we go to Chautauqua. And yes, you're going to see a lot of people there. You're going to see a ton of tourists, but you're also going to see some locals. We're going to do a nice hike. Instead of the picturesque Mesa Trail, we're going to head up Gregory Canyon, just get a nice climb straight up Gregory Canyon to the top of Flagstaff where you can see a view of the city. So that's just going to give you not an extreme hike, but a nice hike. Is this answer more detailed enough for you? After that, we're going to come back down and we're going to all regroup. We're going to go probably to back home to recover and get ready for a nice dinner out. On this dinner out, I think what we're going to do here in Boulder is we're going to go to a taco place like Pica's. We'll go to Pica's and we're going to grab Pica's, and instead of just eating it there, we're going to take it with us and we're going to go to another park. This time we're going to go to Tom Watson Park, because you know why? They have picnic tables and they have games and they have stuff out, games, they have playgrounds. We're going to sit out at Tom Watson, we're going to eat a picnic lunch out there, and then perhaps we're going to play a little volleyball. I'm not very good at volleyball, but I like to play it, and hang out there as the sun goes down. We're going to have a cooler full of drinks and just hang out. That's a perfect Boulder day. The rest of the weekend, we'll have to get you on video number 3 because it's going to take a long time to get through the whole weekend. But that's how I would look at a really fun Boulder day. People think moving to Boulder starts with the house, but that's not necessarily the first question you should ask. I think what you need to ask is, what kind of lifestyle I want to live? What do I want to experience when I come to Boulder? When you start answering those questions first, it really leads you to where you should buy the house or what kind of house you should end up with. So if you're in that realm of considering Boulder as a place you'd like to move, you've probably got a ton of questions. Maybe I've covered some in this video, but maybe there's quite a few more that you would like to ask. If you have a good question, of course, you can drop it in the comments, or you can DM me or just call me. My number's here in the comments. Give me a shout and I will walk you through a lot of those answers. And if I don't have them, we'll dig together to find them for you. I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and I'd love to help you answer the questions and get you started towards that next chapter.